How traditional culture is destroyed explains why Chinese have bad manners. Significant cultural and societal developments during the past few decades can be linked to the notion of poor manners among Chinese people, particularly in urban regions. The emphasis on community, civility, and respect that characterized traditional values has been undermined by historical developments, urbanization, and fast modernization. In this video, we will go through 7 key points that explain how traditional culture has been eroded and its impact on social behavior. Number 7. Cultural Revolution Impact. Mao Zedong launched the Cultural Revolution in 1966, a deep and disorderly upheaval that sought to eliminate anything considered counter-revolutionary in order to strengthen communist ideology. With an emphasis on social peace, filial piety, and respect for authority, traditional Confucian values which had been ingrained in Chinese society for centuries were the focus of this movement. Intellectuals, teachers, and anybody connected to the previous social order were severely persecuted during this turbulent time. Mao's teenage allies, the Red Guards, were called in to eliminate these class enemies, which resulted in public humiliations, bloodshed, and generalized instability throughout society. Schools were shut down and conventional teaching methods were abandoned, depriving a generation of advice on morality and social graces. Because of the cultural trauma caused during this period, revolutionary enthusiasm was valued over civility, and acts of politeness were frequently seen as remnants of an oppressive past. As a result, a lot of people learned to put their own interests and revolutionary goals ahead of customary etiquette, which created a long-lasting impression that modern Chinese society lacks the decency and thoughtfulness that once defined interpersonal relationships. Number 6. Urbanization Effects. China's social landscape has undergone significant transformation due to the country's growing urbanization since the late 20th century, resulting in a complicated interplay between modernity and tradition. In pursuit of greater economic possibilities, millions of people have moved from rural to urban areas, contributing to the rapid expansion of cities such as Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou. Due to the enormous migration, there are now many people living in close quarters, which frequently compromise personal space. People come into contact with a wide range of cultures and backgrounds in these busy urban environments, which can present both social interaction obstacles and chances for enrichment. Daily interactions become more intense due to the need to compete for resources, including jobs, housing, and even basic services. This leads to the normalization of actions that put immediate demands ahead of social graces. Examples include cutting in front of others or crossing one's personal boundaries in crowded public spaces like marketplaces. This change is indicative of a larger cultural adjustment to the reality of urban living, where the urgent need to survive in a fast-paced setting usually takes precedence over traditional norms emphasizing civility. As a result, these actions reinforce the stereotype that Chinese people in cities are less polite than those in rural areas. Number 5. Loss of traditional values. Throughout the past century, a number of historical changes have had a significant impact on cultural identity, and these changes can be linked to the degradation of traditional values in China. Throughout history, Confucianism has offered a moral code that prioritizes values like filial piety or the reverence one has for one's parents and ancestors, community and family loyalty, and the significance of harmonious social interactions. But as communism gained power in the middle of the 20th century, measures were implemented that frequently went against these lessons by endorsing ideologies that valued state allegiance over personal relationships and deference to oneself. Significant adjustments were made to the educational system. While academic success was given more weight under the new administration, curriculum frequently paid little regard to character development or social skills. As a result, many younger generations had little exposure to these tenets of the past that governed social relationships as they were growing up. People who are disconnected from their cultural background may act in ways that are interpreted as impolite or careless toward others. This is because they may not fully comprehend the importance of manners in preserving societal harmony. This problem is made worse by the absence of emphasis on traditional values in public debate and education. Number 4. Changing social norms. As China continues to modernize and integrate into the global economy, new ideals that prioritize individualism and personal achievement over collectivism and communal welfare are posing a growing threat to established social standards. Because metropolitan environments are competitive and sometimes involve varied populations interacting on a first-time basis, people may emphasize their personal objectives over social graces. For example, people may develop a custom to cutting in line or disregarding others' personal space in crowded public areas like shopping malls or subway stations as they go about their daily lives among the chaos. This change is indicative of a larger cultural shift in which contemporary realities frequently eclipse previous expectations. New social dynamics that may defy accepted norms have been brought about by the influence of Western culture through the media and globalization. Furthermore, the emergence of digital communication has changed the way individuals communicate. The anonymity of the internet can occasionally foster rudeness or disdain that is carried over into contacts with others in person. The merging of cultures results in a complicated tapestry where customs may not always line up with modern behavior. This discrepancy can cause miscommunications across generations or between natives and immigrants. Number 3. Education and exposure. While some observers blame a lack of education or exposure to other cultures for the perceived bad manners of Chinese people, this viewpoint misses the complexity of social conduct that is influenced by context and environment. In familiar environments like family get-togethers or tight-knit neighborhoods, where conventional norms are still kept and respected, a lot of people behave admirably. However, because of learned reactions created by competitive urban life, people may revert to more self-serving behaviors when confronted with unfamiliar situations or interactions with strangers in public spaces. This discrepancy demonstrates how cultural context has a big impact on conduct. People adjust their behavior according to their environment and what they think other people expect of them. Furthermore, interpersonal skills and cultural etiquette are frequently neglected in favor of academic success and rote memorization in educational institutions, which leaves many young people ill-prepared to handle challenging social circumstances. When civility is expected but not exercised, the emphasis on soft skills can lead to misunderstandings during interactions, which furthers the spread of unfavorable ideas about manners. Number 2. Survival mentality. A survival-oriented mindset is often prevalent in densely populated urban regions, such as Beijing and Shanghai, because of fierce competition for opportunities and resources in the face of rapid economic growth. Because city life is fast-paced, people tend to put their own needs ahead of social graces. For example, people may cross their own lines at bus stops or disregard personal space in crowded markets in an effort to get through their daily struggles without thinking about the comfort or feelings of others. This conduct is not always motivated by malice, rather it is the result of a practical strategy that was born out of necessity in high-stress scenarios with tight deadlines and intense competition. People who are always on the go may develop a selfish mentality where they see other people as competitors, making manners secondary when survival is at stake. Furthermore, this mindset is reinforced by societal constraints like fierce competition for jobs and expensive living expenses. People who believe they must continuously struggle to preserve their standing in society may grow indifferent to the value of keeping polite relationships with others. Because of this survival mentality, rudeness can spiral out of control. When one person behaves carelessly, it may inspire others to follow suit. Number 1. Potential for revival. In spite of these obstacles brought about by urbanization and modernity, traditional values may resurface if China continues to develop on the international scene. A growing number of younger generations are interested in rediscovering their cultural heritage and realizing its significance in modern society due to increased exposure to foreign cultures through travel, study abroad opportunities, and digital connectedness. Campaigns that encourage polite conduct or community programs that emphasize Confucian principles can be extremely effective in helping young people who may feel cut off from their cultural heritage become more conscious of manners and etiquette. Furthermore, character education reforms that incorporate academic subjects with character education can aid in the installation of critical soft skills required for successfully navigating contemporary social landscapes. There is hope for fostering an atmosphere where respect and consideration for others are once again prioritized amidst the complexities of modern life as societal pressures change and conversations about civility gain traction within public discourse, especially amid growing concerns about social cohesion. These in-depth paragraphs offer a thorough grasp of how traditional culture has been affected and how that link relates to how Chinese people view etiquette in modern times. If you liked our video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel.